on the governance of unbidden subjects and the control of borders. A prince who finds his realm suddenly flooded with men who enter without leave faces a new and perilous kind of principality. These are not conquered lands won by arms, nor hereditary states long accustomed to his rule. They are mixed bodies, part old and part new, where strangers arrive daily seeking fortune or escape, yet bring with them the customs, loyalties, and burdens of distant places. I say that such an influx is harder to master than any conquest by force, for it arrives without battle yet undermines the state from within. The prudent ruler must first recognize that these unbidden subjects change the composition of his realm as surely as any army. Those who profit from their labor will welcome them. Those who bear the cost of their sustenance, their crimes, or their demands will grow resentful. The prince who attempts to govern by half measures, offering mercy today and enforcement tomorrow, will earn neither love nor fear. Men judge by results. If he shows weakness, more will come. If he shows excessive cruelty without order, hatred will breed revolt. Therefore, let him choose one course and hold to it without wavering. I counsel that all necessary severity be applied at once and completely. Fortify the borders as one fortifies a city. Turn back those who come without right, swiftly and visibly, so that the example endures. Grant no amnesty that invites further waves. At the same time, extend measured benefits to those who prove useful and loyal, that they may bind themselves to the state rather than to their old masters. Colonies planted among them, or strict laws enforced uniformly, will make the new arrivals either assimilate or depart. But above all, the prince must maintain his own forces, armed guards, vigilant magistrates, and clear laws, rather than rely on fortune or the goodwill of neighboring princes who may profit from his disorder. He who hesitates, who listens to every plea for compassion, while his own people grow poorer and less secure, will soon find his realm divided against itself. For in matters of borders, as in war, fortune favors the prepared and the resolute. A prince who allows his estate to be altered without his consent loses the first and greatest foundation of power, the ability to command who enters and who remains. This is how The Prince by Niccolò Machiavelli directly applies to illegal immigration. The influx of unbidden subjects is itself a new principality, acquired neither by one's own arms nor by fortune alone, but by the failure to guard what one already possesses. The same rules I set forth for holding difficult states, swift and complete action, the measured use of severity, self-reliance in defense, and the avoidance of half measures, govern this question exactly. A ruler who masters these principles will keep his realm intact. One who does not will watch it slip from his hands while he still believes himself merciful. Chapter 11. Concerning ecclesiastical principalities. Ecclesiastical principalities are acquired by ability or fortune, yet held without either. They rest on ancient religious ordinances so powerful that no prince's conduct can shake them. Subjects remain loyal regardless of how the ruler lives or rules. The sacred order sustains the state. A prince in such a realm need neither defend it with arms nor govern with prudence, for divine authority does the work. Yet I note that once these states are seized by a temporal prince, they behave like any other. Still, while they remain under religious governance, they enjoy a security no other principality can match. Chapter 12. How many kinds of soldiery there are, and concerning mercenaries. I divide soldiery into three kinds: mercenaries, auxiliaries, and one's own troops. Mercenaries are useless and dangerous, costing much in peace and fleeing in war. Auxiliaries, borrowed from another power, bring the same perils plus the risk of foreign domination. Only a prince's own troops, raised from his subjects or loyal citizens, fight with true commitment. A state that relies on foreign arms will never be secure. Therefore, Every wise ruler must build and maintain his own forces, training them in peace so they stand ready in war. Arms are the foundation of all power. Without them, a prince is naked before fortune and enemies alike. Concerning auxiliaries, mixed soldiery, and one's own. Relying on mixed or foreign soldiery invites ruin. Such troops lack loyalty. They serve for pay or fear, not love of the prince. When danger comes, they either desert or turn against their employer. A prince who arms strangers arms his own destruction. I therefore urge every ruler to dismiss all auxiliaries and mercenaries at the earliest moment and raise troops from his own people. Only native forces, bound by shared interest and habit, will fight to the end. Self-reliance in arms is the first mark of a strong state. Dependence on others is the certain road to servitude. That which concerns a prince on the subject of the art of war. A prince must make the art of war his sole study and occupation. In peace he should train his mind and body for battle, study terrain, organize drills, and read the deeds of great captains. War is the only profession that preserves a state. Neglect of it causes loss of both state and honor. A ruler who knows nothing of arms cannot command respect from soldiers or fear from enemies. I counsel every prince to live as a warrior, even when no war threatens, for fortune favors the prepared. Idleness in military matters breeds contempt. Constant preparation breeds victory. Concerning things for which men, and especially princes, are praised or blamed. Men praise certain virtues in princes and blame certain vices. Yet a ruler who wishes to survive cannot always practice the praised qualities. Liberality, mercy, and faith are lauded, but they can ruin a state if carried to excess. I therefore say a prince must appear to possess every virtue, while being ready to abandon any when necessity demands. He should avoid vices that destroy his power, yet embrace those that preserve it. Reputation matters, but survival matters more. The wise prince adapts his conduct to the times and to the needs of the realm, for rigid goodness invites ruin, while flexible prudence secures the throne. Chapter 16. Concerning liberality and meanness. Liberality wins praise, but exhausts a prince's resources and forces him to tax his people, breeding hatred. Meanness, though blamed, preserves treasure, allows generous defense spending, and keeps subjects unburdened. A prudent ruler will therefore seem liberal with what he has taken from enemies and appear mean with his own. He who spends lavishly to seem generous will soon become poor and despised. Economy in peace builds strength for war. I counsel every prince to guard his purse as he guards his life, for wealth is the sinew of power, and poverty its certain enemy. Concerning cruelty and clemency, and whether it is better to be loved than feared, it is far safer to be feared than loved. For love is held by a slender thread of obligation that breaks when interest pulls the other way, while fear is fastened by dread of punishment that never loosens. A prince must avoid hatred above all, yet he may use cruelty when it serves the public good. Swift, necessary severity wins respect. Prolonged or pointless cruelty breeds revolt. I therefore advise that a ruler inspire fear without hatred, for men will obey one they fear more readily than one they merely love. Mercy misused invites disorder. Calculated severity maintains order. Concerning the way in which princes should keep faith, a prince must learn to break his word when keeping it would harm him, and when the reasons for the promise have vanished. Men are wicked, and will not keep faith with you. Therefore you need not keep faith with them. Yet a prince should appear merciful, faithful, humane, upright and religious, for men judge by appearances, and few see what you truly are. The end justifies the means. Success excuses any breach. I counsel flexibility above all. The lion cannot escape traps, nor the fox fight wolves. But he who is both lion and fox endures. That one should avoid being despised and hated.
A prince must avoid being despised or hated.
Contempt comes from fickleness, frivolity, effeminacy, or cowardice. Hatred from rapacity or injury to honor and property. He who is esteemed by his subjects need fear no conspiracies, for the people will not rise against one they respect. Arms and popular goodwill together form the strongest defense. I therefore urge every ruler to cultivate a reputation for strength, constancy, and justice while guarding his subjects' goods and women. Esteem prevents plots, hatred invites them. A prince who is both feared and respected walks secure amid any storm. Are fortresses and many other things to which princes often resort advantageous or hurtful?
Fortresses are useful or harmful according to circumstance.
They help a prince who fears his own people more than foreigners, yet they become useless or dangerous if the people hate him. A ruler who arms his subjects and wins their love needs no fortress. One who disarms them and breeds hatred will find every wall a prison. I counsel weighing popular sentiment before building. Better to be loved and mobile than hated and enclosed. Fortifications without loyalty are mere stone. Loyalty without fortifications is true strength. How a prince should conduct himself as to gain renown.
A prince gains renown by bold enterprises and by choosing clear sides in disputes between neighbors.
Neutrality invites contempt from both victor and vanquished. He should also honor those who excel in arts and arms, reward merit, and give public festivals that keep the people engaged yet orderly. Great actions impress men and bind them to their ruler. I advise every prince to seize every opportunity for glory, for nothing maintains a state so firmly as the admiration of its subjects and the fear of its enemies. Concerning the secretaries of princes. The choice of ministers reveals a prince's own wisdom. A ruler is judged by the quality of those around him. He should select men of ability, loyalty, and diligence, rewarding them so they have no need to seek wealth elsewhere. A prince who chooses wisely gains credit for every success. One who chooses poorly shares blame for every failure. I counsel testing counselors carefully and keeping them dependent on your favor alone, for faithful servants are the eyes and hands with which a prince sees and acts throughout the realm. How flatterers should be avoided. Flatterers are the plague of courts. A prince who allows them will hear only what pleases him and will soon lose the truth. The remedy is to choose a few wise men and allow them to speak freely on matters you ask about, then decide alone. He who listens to everyone becomes contemptible. He who trusts no one becomes isolated. I advise balancing counsel with solitary judgment, for the best prince hears good advice yet remains master of his own will. Flattery blinds, frankness, when controlled, illuminates. The princes of Italy have lost their states. Princes lose their states through idleness, failure to prepare in peace, or reliance on fortune rather than virtue. A ruler who arms his people, avoids hatred, and builds strong foundations will not fall easily. Those who lose their realms usually do so because they neglected the arts of war or alienated their subjects. I therefore remind every prince that security is earned daily, not granted once. Fortune favors the vigilant, neglect invites ruin. He who wishes to keep what he has must never cease to guard it. What fortune can effect in human affairs and how to withstand her? Fortune governs half our actions, yet leaves the other half to our own control. She resembles a raging river that floods when unchecked, but can be tamed by embankments built in calm times. A prince who adapts his conduct to the times prospers. One who clings to old ways perishes when circumstances change. Boldness often conquers fortune where caution fails, for she favors the young and the daring. I counsel every ruler to study the times and strike when opportunity appears, for fortune yields to those who seize her rather than wait passively for her gifts. An exhortation to liberate Italy from the barbarians.
Here I exhort every worthy prince to seize the present opportunity to liberate and unify a divided realm long oppressed by strangers. Native valor has never been lacking, only leadership has been absent. With your own troops, prudent strategy, and divine favor, such a task can be accomplished swiftly and gloriously. No enterprise is more just, no cause more beloved by the people. I urge you to take up this banner with courage, for fortune now smiles on the bold and the prepared. Act, and the realm will follow. Hesitate, and opportunity passes forever. Thus does a new prince write his name in history.